What up? What up? What up? What is good? Hold on, let me get this thing. Let me just see this. Yeah, that looks better. That looks a lot better. Anyway, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to Instant Replay Daily. Gonna be a short show, y'all. I apologize. Obviously, if you could tell by the sound of my voice, I got a little bit of shit going on. It's that time of year, when you know, you know how it is. The weather sort of dictates how you gonna be feeling, bro. And that's no joke right now. I feel fine. My sinuses have been bad. My nose will not stop running. I'm sure if you've been watching the show for any amount of time, you know my nose just doesn't stop, bro. Doesn't stop. And my lips are so dry because of the weather, one, and number two, because just keep blowing my nose, and you wipe, and it like just wipes your lips dry. It's terrible, man. It's terrible. Trying to keep the things, trying to keep them, you know what I'm saying, refreshed so they don't fall the fuck off my face. But anyway, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to Instant Replay, the Daily Show. Obviously, if y'all were here yesterday, you heard me and my co-host that you did. Hold up, bro. I ain't looked at it yet. I ain't even looked at it. But me and the co-host, we literally said we both picked. We both picked the Rams, bro. And we said on the show yesterday, if you were paying attention, just because we didn't pick the Falcons, they gonna clap cheeks. Well, if you're watching Monday Night Football right now, I can't even talk. The cheek clapping has commenced. The score right now at halftime is 21-0 Atlanta. The Falcons had a pick six, which is crazy. And they had another in this. Matthew Stafford has thrown 2 picks in this game. Matthew Stafford, who I be pulling for the boy. He's a great dude, future Hall of Famer. But obviously, everything doesn't go your way. They struggled a bit this season too, as much as good as the Rams are. And I think there are a couple of the games. That Panthers game, which I can't even say shit. The Packers got beat by the Panthers too. So not trying to down them for it, but just saying that those kind of games, man. Which is kind of sort of when it comes to us. Hadn't announced the starter yet for this weekend. Probably gonna be Malik Willis. I don't see why you'd start Jordan. Like I said yesterday, I better not see no starters on the sideline, bro. I mean, not on the field, bro. I better not see no starters on the sideline. All right. So as we jump on in, obviously yesterday we picked the rest of the games. Let's get this pulled up here. Do that. And let's bring that thing up there. All right. So basically yesterday, you can see the picks right there. Let me get this going right quick. Scores. All right, yeah. Shouts out to ESPN, man. I've been using y'all shit for everything. Apologies, man. If I can make something like this, then I would do it myself. But anyway, 21-0 halftime. Obviously, we started with the game picks, came up on the Sunday games, Cardinals, Bengals. Bengals continue to thrash, folks. The only team they didn't thrash was the Ravens a couple weeks ago, which was the game I thought it was right after Joe Burrow made those comments about sort of not having fun playing, and then they played the Ravens and they got clapped up. Joey didn't look like he was having fun doing it at all. Browns Steelers, 13-6 Browns, which leads to a penultimate game, or not penultimate, but a sort of big primetime Sunday night game. Now, real quick, y'all. Real quick. I've been a football fan for a long time. I talk about it on here a lot. I love the sport of football, which is why I dedicate time every week to get on here and talk about the sport I love, even though I don't get paid anything. I just like to talk about it, and it's fun, and it's fun to have people in the chat, and it's fun to have people watch and engage and things of that nature, right? It's fun to have people talk a little trash and stuff like that, right? But I love football, man. And there's been this thing that's been out there for probably as long as I can remember. Not so much. As a matter of fact, you hardly ever hear this about college football. But there's this thing, and I have a coworker who swears that the NFL is rigged. Apologies, man. My nose is running. Give me just a All right, I apologize, y'all. I don't have my co-host with me today to talk while I have to blow my nose. My sinuses are destroyed. And then now at this time of year, it's cold. It's been way worse. But anyway, The people think the NFL's rigged. They think that, and I'm, one of the things for me when it comes to saying the NFL's rigged is that I'm like, I'll give you a perfect example. I can't remember the corner's name. Please forgive me. For the Packers, who after a play on Saturday night, his foot was turned backwards. Foot was turned backwards, the wrong way. We've seen that happen before in football. So he's injured, got carted off the field. I refuse to believe that cats do all of that shit, risk that type of injury if it's fake, right? If it's rigged, right? I hate that talk. Every time I hear it, I try to ignore it. I don't want to engage in conversations when people try to say the NFL. I hate it, right? And there's a lot of people, trust me, if you didn't know, there's a lot of people that NFL is WWE. Yeah, hey, I feel you. I feel you, man. I feel you one thing. That's what I'm saying. So, but there is a lot of people, like I was just getting to, who actually really think that the NFL is rigged on some level. I'm like, bro, let me tell you something. When I see somebody in a game going for their life and they get injured, so you tell me they did that shit for something fake? Nah, man. I can't even roll with that. However, NFL, you son of a guns, boy. You make it hard for a cat like me that's out there saying, nah, hell no, football ain't rigged. Because up until the end of the Pittsburgh Browns game, right, which the score I was just going over. By the way, if you just now tuning in, welcome to Instant Replay Daily. It's your boy ACS. My co-host NR is not here tonight. He's up under the weather. I'm up under the weather as well, but it's a bit more severe on his side, right? If you look down below this video, if you watch it on YouTube or whatever, if you watch it on your phone, you can find links to the Patreon and all of those things. If you feel so inclined, there's also a Discord chat link down there if we get on there and talk. But if you're just now joining, halftime, Falcons, Rams. We picked the Rams. Right after we picked the Rams and picked against the Falcons, we both said to each other yesterday, the Falcons are up 21-0, right? So back to what I was talking about. Boy, you NFL. So up until that game ended, we were going to have one sort of marquee game next weekend. One game next weekend that's going to decide, like, in other words, a win-or-go-home game, right? And that's going to be against, which, by the way, the Panthers and the Bucks played so bad yesterday, dog. Like, watching those games, watching that shit, I was like, man, this is rough. This is rough. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that both those players and on those teams would like to have back, but that was some rough watching right there. Obviously, the Seahawks came to Carolina. Carolina was holding them down at first, bro. Carolina was holding their own against the mighty Seahawks. Didn't turn out that way. And the Bucks, man, playing the Dolphins, dog. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. They got all the healthy people back. A lot of them, receivers, Mike Evans and stuff that they have been missing, came back, and they couldn't do it, right? So that was, at the time, that was the only matchup you're looking at for Week 18, right? Week 18 now there's still stuff to be decided. I do know that the 49ers Seahawks will decide who gets the number one seed in the NFC, right? So that's good to see right there. Obviously, for me, I'm a Packers fan. We're locked in the 7th seed. I don't care, right? It doesn't matter. Either we're going to sort of, I think either what it doesn't matter for the Packers. We're going on the road. Let me put it that way, right? So for me, both of those teams are hard to play in their home stadiums, the 49ers and the Seahawks. And the Bears, by the way, there's a possibility, right now as it stands, we would travel to Chicago in the wild card round of the playoffs Saturday or Sunday, whatever day they schedule they give us next weekend for that game. So you're looking at this scenario where, like, the biggest marquee thing you had for Week 18 was going to be a Carolina Panthers team traveling down to Tampa Bay to play the Bucks for the NFC South. The loser is not in the playoffs. The winner, NFC South, gets a home game in the playoffs. That's what you were looking at, right? That's what the NFL was looking at for their last slate. Let me tell you something, y'all. I have never seen more glaring pass interference in my entire fucking life. The Browns game, the 4th down pass from Aaron Rodgers, we know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It checked all the boxes for pass interference. First of all, the biggest one, the defender never turned around to look at the ball. So Aaron Rodgers throws this nice-ass ball, you know what I'm saying, nice fade to the corner of the end zone. The defender never turns to look at the ball. Not one time. Number 2 criteria met. He touches the receiver before the ball even gets there. Contact with the receiver. Those 2 things alone are pass interference. Now, did pass interference get called? Now, mind you, if you're a Steelers fan, you're probably watching this like, yeah, motherfucker, that was pass interference. It was pass interference. I don't give a damn. I've seen it before. I've been watching it a long time. That was pass interference. By the definitions that they give, defender never turned back to look for the ball, made contact with the receiver prior to the ball getting there. Now, why was pass interference not called? Well, if you look at your NFL schedule for the next coming weekend, the final game of the season, the final Sunday night football game, the Baltimore Ravens are Pittsburgh Steelers. The winner wins the NFC or the AFC North. The loser goes home. What better must-see TV, right? See, this is when the motherfuckers that be talking about this shit rigged, and I hate to say it, but that was pass interference. Anybody can challenge me on that. That was pass interference. Should have been called. It wasn't called, which would have gave the Steelers 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. They got to score on one of those, right? If they score, they win that game, they win the AFC North. Then you don't have a marquee Sunday night matchup waiting to play. You don't have a marquee Sunday night game for a division title. You don't have one of those sitting and waiting if the Steelers win yesterday. I'm not trying to talk about conspiracies, y'all, and I hate it. Like I've just said, I absolutely fucking hate it when people try to say NFL is rigged and it's fake and all of this stuff. But boy, let me tell you something. That was pass interference yesterday. Should have been called. Should have been Steelers ball, first and goal on the 1-yard line with 4 chances to win that game. That's what it should have been. But it wasn't. So we move on. Next Sunday night, I will be watching Steelers, Ravens for the AFC North winner-take-all game. Should be nice. Obviously, the Ravens have looked way better. You saw what they did to my Packers the other night. 4 touchdowns for Henry. Don't think he's going to be clapping like that next week. But he could. He could. Obviously, you don't know if Lamar Jackson's going to play or not. Obviously, you'd like to see him play because they're trying to win that game and get into the playoffs. But again, if he gets injured in that game, then what's good? And they do win. Huntley's good. Huntley's good. He outshined our ass. Didn't really have that many passing yards. Didn't really do much passing at all. But he made some key plays, which gave them that dub against us, right? So, yeah, there it is. Also, real quick, as I get back to these scores from yesterday, man, let's get back to the score. All right, so Steelers-Browns, I just talked about that one, 13-6. The last series, be damned for the Steelers. Bro, what y'all doing? Y'all were able to keep – and Myles Garrett made some comments that I thought were like, yo, Myles Garrett's comments after the game where they were so worried about me getting my record-breaking sack that they didn't even worry about trying to score points. I don't think that's the case, but, you know, it is what it is. Saints, Titans, bro. Every time I pick against the Saints win, man. Saints, Titans, 34-26. Saw some clean plays. Obviously, you saw the Chase Young right there. That's the play that's not exactly the play, but Chase Young strips the ball away from Cam Ward and runs that thing all the way back for a touchdown. Nice play right there. Probably going to be one of the plays of the week as far as this goes. Jaguars, Colts, right? The score was tied for a little bit. I think it was 17-17 at some point. But the Jags had the Colts had the Jags sort of swimming around there for the first sort of half of the game, man. The game was really close. Trevor Lawrence wasn't playing such a good one, but he turned that shit around in the second half. Buccaneers, Dolphins, y'all. Again, apologies, my nose. All right, y'all. Again, apologies. My sinuses are killing me. All right, so Bucks Dolphins, man. After just talk about this game, man. Bucks had the chance, bro, to go ahead and claim up that old NFC South. They said, nah, bro. That's what yesterday watching those two teams play, the Bucks and the Panthers. I was like, yo, does anybody want to win the NFC South, bro? Like, does anybody want that title, man? Does anybody want to enter the playoffs under the mantle of NFC South champion, bro? Does anyone? I don't know. Anyway, Bucks, Dolphins. Mitch Ewers had a good game, right? Trying to put some stuff on tape, so make sure that they know that he's available next season, right? Tua probably won't be playing for the Dolphins no more. Mike McDaniels might have kept his job. The Bucks, man, Couple bad throws from Baker, a couple bad picks, which were crazy. But we'll see what happens this weekend, man. We'll see if they make the playoffs. Obviously, they did last year, got bounced. All right, Patriots, Jets, 42-10 Patriots. Not much to say about this game except for Drake May was clapping their cheeks the whole game. The Jets, the Jets are not a good football team. You know what I'm saying? So this is not unexpected. Seahawks, Panthers. This game, look at at halftime. The game was 6-0, bro. 6-2-0. Or 3-0, or no, 3 apiece. I'm tripping. I'm bad. At halftime, the score was 3 apiece. They come back out. The Seahawks throw up 14 in the third quarter, right? And then they get 10 in the fourth to close it out. The Panthers, a couple bad picks by Bryce Young. Yeah, man, not too good. Giants, Raiders. Obviously, this is what V called the Buster Bowl. Whoever loses this game has the inside track to get the number 1 pick. What's good, Scarlett? What's good? And, Mike, appreciate you stopping through for instant replay. Appreciate it. Giants, Raiders. Obviously, this was the Buster Bowl, like V said yesterday. The loser has the inside track to the number 1 overall pick. The Giants said, "Fuck that, we gonna clap cheeks." The Raiders. I don't know if they was trying, or I'm sure V would have sort of a say, "What we doing? We talking about football, Scarlett." We talking about football. This is a football show called Instant Replay. Comes on every Sunday at noon, Mondays at 9:30 p.m., and then Wednesdays at 9:30 p.m. And we just talk about football and the scores and stuff until the season's over, man. But I appreciate you jumping in, even if you're not a football fan. Appreciate it. But again, Giants, Raiders, 34-10. Obviously, the Giants said we're going to score. Eagles, Bills. Obviously, I'm sure you've seen a lot of what happened with this one. The Eagles, 0 yards almost in the second half. That is concerning. As a matter of fact, that's not the first time the Eagles have done that this season either. But still, crazily, they won the game. Twice, both times. The Bills, obviously, you've seen what they did. They didn't score points until there was like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They come down, get the touchdown, get another touchdown, and then sort of go for a 2-point conversion to try to win the game. And dude was wide open in the end zone. Josh Allen just missed him, man. The pass was a little bit too wide, missed him by a foot or two. And that's all on Josh Allen, man. Y'all had the opportunity with very little time left on the clock to sort of take the lead in this game and win that thing with a 2-point conversion after y'all had pretty much got dominated the whole game, right? Bills kind of concerning, man. Kind of concerning. I don't know. Anyway, final last night, Sunday night football, Bears, 49ers. I picked the 49ers to win this game, and the only reason was, like I said, it was in San Francisco. It was at Levi Stadium. That was the difference to me personally in this game. Otherwise, both these quarterbacks played their fucking asses off. Caleb Williams played his ass off. Brock Purdy played his ass off. You want to tell you, though, I will be honest, though, you know who didn't play their asses off? Either one of their defenses. That's who didn't play their asses off. No defense from either one of these teams. So, I wonder, it's funny to me, as I look back at some of these, the NFC teams that are going to be out there, let's look at the, let's see. Let's look at the playoff picture right here. The teams that's in here, man. Can we get a tree? All I wanted was a tree. You know what I mean? I wanted just a playoff tree with the teams in the thing, right? Oh, if you're looking at the draft, the Raiders with the top slot. Oh, yeah. Let's check out the full Week 17 schedule because this last week of the season is sort of like, especially when you have very little to be decided, it's sort of stuff getting flexed all over the place. So Thursday, okay, wait, what the hell? Oh, Week 18. My bad, folks. All right, Saturday, January 3rd. This is this Saturday coming up. Carolina at Tampa Bay, 4:30 p.m. Seattle at San Francisco. So Saturday is filled with noteworthy games. Obviously, the outcomes of these games mean something. This game will decide who wins the NFC South and gets a home game. This game will decide who gets the number 1 overall seed. And also who wins the NFC West, right? Sunday, here's the matchups, bro. I knew we would be at 1 o'clock. This game is inconsequential. None of these games are consequential at all. Dallas, we were talking about it, and me and V kind of thought that Dallas wouldn't get flexed. They flexed Dallas to 1 o'clock, dog. Flex them. Bro, they flexed them to 1 o'clock for the New York Buffalo game, dog. Detroit at Chicago. Now, this game really doesn't mean anything right now, considering because Chicago lost to the 49ers last night, for them to have had a chance at the number 1 seed. But I will say this. Don't think Detroit ain't mad. They got kicked out of the playoffs last week. Chicago made the playoffs. I think Detroit going to play starters, man. Let's see what they do. Los Angeles at Denver, right? Kansas City at Las Vegas at the Raiders. My voice is sounding shitty right now. I can tell I'm good. Arizona at Los Angeles. And then the final game of the night, right? Baltimore at Pittsburgh, 8:20 p.m. Sunday Night Football, the final Sunday night hoorah of the season. And, yeah, man. See what they got popping with that thing, man. See what happens. See who wins. That game is for the AFC North. If you didn't know it, that's what it's for. And so, yeah, man. That's what it is. Man, hold up. I gotta see it. Let me see something. NFL, let's see. I'm looking for a playoff tree, man. That's all it is, man. A playoff tree, bruh. Instead, they want to give me this nonsense. All right, anyway, I'll pull this back up here. Okay, I'll look at these NFC teams real quick. But I'll get back to what I was saying when it came to no defense play in the Sunday Night Football, right? So you got these two, the teams at the top. 49ers, Bears, Eagles. Eagles have a defense. We saw that yesterday against Buffalo. Panthers' defense is pretty good. Pretty good. They did some shit to the Packers. Obviously, they beat the Rams a few weeks ago. Rams got a defense. Seahawks got a defense. Packers, our defense looks bad, dog. We got shredded last week. It doesn't look good. But at the top, you got some teams that if you're able to get a couple stops, you might be able to win that game. And then obviously you got the Buccaneers, who they're trying to take this 4 spot, which is crazy. Obviously, if you see right here, the Packers will play the Bears. The Eagles will play the Rams. The Seahawks will play the Panthers again after they just played them last week. So, yeah, updated at 12:29, 9:59 p.m. So there you have it, y'all. I appreciate everybody who tuned in for the show. We should be back Wednesday night, New Year's Eve, probably about 9:30. Give you a little quick show before the ball drops and it becomes 2026. But, hey, man, we appreciate the love. Anybody who's watched the show or paid attention or stayed tuned, anytime throughout the history of this show, this is the 7th season. If you guys who are just now tuning in aren't aware, this is the 7th season we've been doing instant replay, and it's always enjoyable. We've had some rough times in the past, but I think we're catching our stride right now. So, get this turned off. So anyway, like I said, I appreciate everybody who watched. We should be seeing you guys soon in a couple days. You guys enjoy yourselves, enjoy the holiday, get ready for New Year's. And yeah, man, it's the replay out, bro. Peace out.